Alright, welcome back to Figurama, where I have two more G.I. Joe classifieds that I've had for a little while. And I can't wait to unbox them because JINX is one of my favorite characters because I love the G.I. Joe movie. I've said that many times before. And Night Creeper. So JINX and Night Creeper. JINX I love from the G.I. Joe movie. Night Creeper I had when I was a kid. And I don't remember loving him, but I do remember a certain aspect of him that I did love, which we'll go over once we open the figure. So here they are. They're the new packaging that I hate. There's no art, there's no nothing. Night Creeper 121, JINX is 124, QR code for the store, icons everywhere. On the other side, you do have some art. So some art's better than no art, I guess. And then on the back, you have the renders here with some of the details, all the blah, blah, blah stuff. All right, so JINX is based on her Series 6 figure from 1987, which I did have when I was younger. And again, I love the G.I. Joe movie, and she's a big part of the movie. I love the training crew from the movies. You know, Tunnel Rat, Law and Order, Chuckles, which actually I never got Chuckles. He was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I will. I'll pick him up someday. I do want the crew, but she was a big part of the G.I. Joe movie. I love it. And she was in the comic books too, for sure. And Night Creeper had a few different figures, but this is based on his his first figure in Series 9, which was in 1990. And again, I did have him when I was younger. I don't remember actually the figure, but I remember one of the accessories, which we'll go over once we open them. All right, and their icons, not that Hasbro cares about these anymore, would be, JINX would be Intelligence, Bladed Weapons, Infiltration, and Ninjutsu. And Mr. Night Creeper is Covert Ops, Bladed Weapons, Ninjutsu again, and then Environmental Specialist Night, obviously. Night Creeper in the name. All right, JINX is here, and from what I understood, she's an all-new sculpt before the figure was revealed. I'm trying to say figure. When the figure was revealed, it was said it would be entirely new sculpt. I can't quite tell if it is. The legs to me look like some of the maybe ninjas we've had in the past. Because this dark stripe right here is not sculpted; it's just painted on. So it's hard to believe that this is a new sculpt, but maybe it is. I don't have any of the old ninjas. I didn't want the old ninjas. I didn't like the way they looked or anything like that. But anyways, let's get back to JINX. JINX is a character that I love from the movie. She had a big part in the comic book too, but you know, she is what she is. And the figure looks great. Looks great. It's got that signature red outfit that she had. Like I showed off before, she's got this dark sort of maroon stripe down her side, and she's got that stripe too, same stripe going around her kimono, or it's not a kimono, I don't know, it's a ninja outfit. She's got nice sculpted black sort of hand wraps here that go all the way to her fingers right there, so they start at the forearm, go all the way down. Obviously she's got this sort of stands out while we're right here, you know what I mean? She's got this arm tattoo right here, and it looks so good. And G.I. Joe is known for that. They do a lot of these good tattoos and like fine detailed decos on there. So she's got that sort of dragon symbol on her chest right there, and then the tattoo all down her arm, which looks so good. Obviously, you know, articulated figures, it's hard to line that up where it's like perfect, but it looks really good. And even on her neck right here, she has this necklace, and it feels, I think this is a separate piece. This is not a sculpted on detail. There's actually a physical necklace that you can take on or off if you want to, because she does come with an alternate head. She does come with an alternate masked head, obviously. So when she's incognito, she can put her alternate masked head on. And then also from the movie, there's another head accessory, which we'll go over in a second, but let's say on the body. For now, the body is really good. Typical G.I. Joe articulation. Female figures don't really have much of a butterfly joint there. But I really like how they did the sleeve here, that red sleeve right there. It does move along with the skin toned, you know, musculature, shoulder musculature, and it looks really good like that. The color matching is actually pretty good here too. The only off thing are the knee pads are a little darker than the rest of the legs. I'm not a super big expert, but I think that's a different plastic. So that's why they always have hard time like matching up, you know, elbows and knees sometimes. with the leg plastic. I think it's different plastics. I don't know. Somebody tell me. I don't know. But I mean, overall, it does look pretty good. Now, her proportions are a little off, if you ask me. I think her torso, if you look at her from a distance, I think her torso is a little long. If you look at it, she is very slender, obviously, you know, just that's the way she was in the movie too. She was very slender. She's a ninja. She works out, you know, she does her 10,000 steps a day. So the overall aesthetic of it is definitely JINX. If you know who JINX is from the original G.I. Joe line, that's my big criteria for G.I. Joe Classifieds, or a lot of the criteria is whether you can identify these people just by looking at them from a distance, and she's definitely JINX. If you know who JINX is, she is JINX. So back to the articulation, obviously typical G.I. Joe articulation. Double elbows, she does have double elbows and double knees, which they're doing on the female figures, unlike a lot of lines out there, which is cool. No ab crunch. They're getting away from the ab crunch a little bit, and they never had it on female figures anyways, really. But she does have a ball joint up top, like right under her, sort of her rib cage right there. There is a ball joint. There's not much movement, as you can see. It's really, that's as far back as she can go, as far forward as she can go, so it ain't much. And then the legs are all typical G.I. Joe articulation, which is pretty darn good. I just don't like to go over it every video. All of it is about the same. So I'll typically point out stuff that's just different or something like that. So legs, pretty much the same. It does have a swivel right there at the, you know, thigh swivel. Double knees to go with the double elbows. It does have a shin swivel right there. And then the feet articulation is just, you know, normal female G.I. Joe foot articulation. So she'll get some pretty good poses. G.I. Joe is definitely one of the most posable lines out there, and especially you need that for a ninja, obviously. So this piece on her waist too, it's very high to me. To me, it needs to sit down a little bit more, but I guess it's okay. It doesn't really go down anymore. It is a flexible plastic piece. From the belt down to the end of her shirt is all one piece. It's one sort of loose, semi-flexible piece right there. So, you know, I wonder what's underneath there. I guess I can't see. But anyways, it looks pretty good. But again, to me, her waist looks super high, just to my eye. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, you know. So everything is pretty good here. Sculpt-wise, the articulation, you know, her crunch is non-existent. So that's definitely the weakest point of the figure for sure. I wonder if there's a, you know, home remedy for that. I don't know. I'm not going to pull her apart and do it. But we didn't talk about the head sculpt. Obviously, the head sculpts are where a lot of G.I. Joe's Classifieds really shine. And her head sculpt is amazing. It's awesome. The paint job too. You know, they do the, I don't know what you want to call it, the real face printing or whatever it's called. The real face, the technology that Hasbro has. Man, it looks so good. Her hair is one solid color. It's all sort of slicked back. It's definitely, you know, that shorter hair. It's a little bit longer than she had in the movie. In the movie, it was definitely more like buzzed a little bit, I think. In this, it's definitely a little longer and like slicked back and down. So it's definitely updated. It's definitely been modernized slightly. And I don't know. She's beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's check her out with her alternate head right here. Be careful when you're taking off the heads if you don't want this sort of choker to come off. All right, so there's her alternate head on there. So that's how she looks with her alternate head, which again is really good. And that choker too, it really gives her some personality, right? Because there's red ninjas and there's blue ninjas and there's green ninjas already. Well, none of the red ninjas, blue ninjas, or green ninjas have a necklace like that, a choker. So you can sort of tell it's JINX from a distance, you know? Like it looks awesome. I definitely like this head. I think I'm gonna keep the other head on her because the other head does fit one more accessory. But anyways, sculpt work is good. It does have, you know, this soft plastic piece at the end for the tie. And then her eyes are really good too. They look just like the real figure. There's really no difference in the eyes, which look amazing, especially sort of up close. If you look at it up close, or if you use your human eyes, I don't know how it's gonna look in camera eyes, but in human eyes, it looks really good. All right, now jumping back to her regular head. She has the piece of the set. Yes, you remember the G.I. Joe movie. Her master that trained her was called the Blind Master. He taught her to use her other senses, other than sight, to fight. So she comes with, let's see if I can get it on. She comes with a dun-dun-dun, This buildup is terrible. But she comes with a blindfold, yes, just like the movie. When she was training, she had to put the blindfold on to sort of, you know, beat him, because that's where she excelled a little bit. So she learned from her master. So she comes with a blindfold right there, which is black. In the movie, I believe it was red. I believe it was a piece of her outfit that she took off and blindfolded herself with. And then obviously in the sort of final battle, she was blind too when she battled Pythona. So that's her thing. That's her thing, right? So that's why obviously she comes with a blindfold. And she looks amazing with the blindfold. I think this is awesome. I think I'm going to display her like this, right? Because her face is amazing. Did an amazing job with the face. And this is sort of her, in it, for lack of a better term, this is her gimmick. That's her gimmick, is the blind fighting. So I think that looks amazing with the blindfold on. Amazing. She almost looks like Trinity from the Matrix. And she doesn't just use hand-to-hand combat. She does have a couple weapons in here. So here's her first sort of double-bladed staff. It probably has a proper name that I can't think of right now. But it looks pretty good. It's pretty soft plastic, so it is pretty gummy. But it does have the paint details. So it's got the silver at the end, the maroon sort of grips on it, and then black in the middle. So it's definitely not like a NECA accessory, super, you know, stiff and hard and good and stuff. It is a little gummy, but it definitely works. The stylings of it are pretty darn cool. And then she also obviously comes with a katana, a sword here, which comes with a sheath, which looks like it was made out of cloth, because it definitely has some work on it, some sculpt work on it. The sword has that maroon handle with the silver butt to it right there. Obviously a lot of sculpted details on the ends, and yes, obviously it comes out of the sheath, and there is more sculpted details along the swords right there. I'm not sure if this is a new sculpt. I would guess that it's not, but again, I do not have the ninjas, so I don't know if this is from the ninjas. And it looks really good, and goes right in there, nice and easy. It does have a peg right there, so this obviously plugs into her back. And she also comes with two hands, obviously. These are two grippy hands, obviously. She has punching hands on her, as her default hands are punching hands, so she's got to come with some holding hands to hold her stuff. All right, so yep, so there's a backpack hole right there that this goes right in. So I'm sure it's gonna look really good, and it does. It looks pretty ballin' right there. So let's do Night Creeper next, and then I'm gonna do some posing of both of them, and then I'll come back with final thoughts. All right, Night Creeper's out, and there's a decent amount of new stuff here. The head is new, the chest plate's new, the I don't know, abs are new. Obviously these are new sculpts. These are all sculpted details. This isn't an outside sort of on the top insert like it might have been. They chose the sculpted root, which looks pretty good. The arms are definitely reuse, hands are reuse, legs are reuse. Shins, maybe not reuse. I haven't seen these, maybe the ninjas. Feetses are reuse. So there's like 50% new here, 50% reuse. But anyways, this is definitely Night Creeper. If you had Night Creeper when you were little, the color scheme and, you know, the chest plate and the helmet and everything really, really, really match that original figure. I think that there's a lot of detail here. The thing that stands out to me as being kind of, I don't know, doesn't really match the rest of just the arms. The arms are super, just plain. Everything else is super detailed. It's got nice detail. The legs have this sort of camo pattern. Really nice details. Chest looks really good. Helmet is the sculpt work on it. The sculpt work on the top of it. Cloth folds down here. And then there's some like dings and dents on the sort of metal part on the top, which look really good. And the arms just look completely like sort of just plain, like purple arms. I have purple arms, Barney arms. But overall, I'm not complaining. Overall, the aesthetic of the figure looks awesome. I think he looks awesome. He definitely fits the aesthetic of the old figure with some new stuff. And, you know, it's awesome. So I do like the color scheme here. I like the gray with the maroons and the dark grays and the blacks and everything and the purples. Like, I really like his color scheme for sure. Normal G.I. Joe articulation, he does. It's kind of hard to see because they did these shoulder pads so well, but he does have a butterfly joint in there. So there's a butterfly joint, the typical G.I. Joe articulation in the arm, double elbows, double knees. And then this piece is definitely a loose piece, so it doesn't hinder movement at all. It'll go around with the arm. So I definitely like shoulder pads like that, how they've been doing that lately on a lot of action figure lines. So it looks really good in a neutral pose, but also, you know, it can follow the arm around, and it looks really good following the arm around too. Ab crunch is gone for this guy too. Ab crunch has always been gone for female figures, but the male figures, they're slowly sort of phasing it out too. And, you know, his range of movement is not ab crunch range at all, but the visual aesthetic of it, you know, whether you like it more or not, that's up to you to decide. I think he looks quite good like this, so I'm not going to complain about no ab crunch. But, you know, he doesn't get quite the range of movement as he would if he had an ab crunch, but there is that ball joint in there, so he can go, you know, turn around pretty well and look up and down relatively well. Obviously, this belt right here is a loose piece, and I think this is a unique piece. I've never seen this before. It's got two sort of knife holsters on the back, because he comes with two sort of small stabbies. Going down to the legs, typical articulation. There is a thigh swivel right there, double knee. It is articulated at the boot right there. The boot, the shin guard right there, which looks really good. I really like the sculpt work of that, along with the black black straps painted around. Looks good. And then the feet are normal ninja feet with the, you can see they're big. It looks like he's got two big toes. He looks like a hippopotamus or something. But he fits all the aesthetics of Night Creeper, and he fits all the aesthetics of the line, where the line is at this point. So I'm very, very happy with the color scheme and the aesthetic of the figure for sure. I definitely like the helmet quite a lot. I wonder if this hood is removable. I don't know. But he's got the same sort of, you know, head as his first version. He does, as a bonus to this figure. He comes with some cool accessories. And the first cool accessory he comes with is this. And you might not recognize this, but this is the helmet actually from his second version figure. He had a second version figure way down the line. I believe it was in the Ninja like Force series. I think I might have had this. I did have a Night Creeper, original Night Creeper when I was little. I don't remember ever playing with the figure though. Like I said before, we'll get to that. But the second version, I think I might have had too, because I did have a lot of the Ninja Force people. I do have a couple of them still, but I definitely don't have him still. I wish I still had my childhood. I wish I still had my childhood figures to show off during these videos. That would make them way better. But so anyways, back to the head. So let's take this head off, and I can see if, I'll see if the cowl is removable, but let's check this out first. So there he is with this other helmet on, which is kind of, it's almost like insect-like a little bit, and I'm not a huge fan of this head, but I like that they have it here. If someone's version of Night Creeper was the, you know, the Ninja Force version, then it's got an accessory in here for you, so there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not a gatekeeper here. If that's your Night Creeper, then here you go. You could have purple, red, maroon Bugman if you want. I don't think so. It doesn't feel like it comes out. Not that I would want it without this hood on, but I mean, yeah, it feels like it's glued together, so I'm not gonna mess with it too much. So that definitely, that's my Night Creeper for sure, right there. All right, in the original figure, I don't remember if it came with a backpack, but this is his backpack he comes with. He comes with a crossbow. His original figure came with a crossbow and a shorter sword, and then a magnificent sword, which is, the spoiler alert, that's my accessory that I keep talking about that I remember. But anyways, here's a new backpack right here. It's got arrows on it, and it's got these two pegs right here to hold his crossbow. So we might as well look at the crossbow at the same time. So he's got this crossbow. We've seen crossbows in the series quite a few times before. So that's the crossbow he comes with. Visually, it definitely looks pretty close to the crossbow he originally came with. And like I said, it's got two peg holes right there with the two pegs right there. So you can put the crossbow on those pegs right there, and, you know, into the backy-packy hole. So him with his crossbow on his backpack in the backy-packy hole. And it looks pretty ballin'. Like, I definitely like it. It looks cool. It goes on pretty straight. I hope it stays in there. G.I. Joe backpacks don't stay in there very good sometimes. But he looks really good with it on there. as long as you get it straight. That's him with his crossbow, which is a homage to the first figure. He does come with one single arrow too. No paint details or anything. We've obviously seen this in the series before, and this goes in the crossbow, obviously. All right, the two little stabby knives. These might be reused from something. Again, I don't have all the ninjas. So there's two little stabby knives. There's no paint details or anything, but obviously they're made to go in holders on his belt right there, one on each side. So he can definitely hold everything. So that looks pretty cool. So yeah, with those in there, it definitely looks pretty cool. Let's get his backpack into. Let's start building them up like Voltron. Let's get all his stuff on there. So he's got his two knives on, his backpack on there. And I definitely like the black color, right? I really do like his color scheme. Like the maroon, the purple, the silver, the dark silver, and then the black sort of accents from all his equipment and everything. It looks good. It's looking good. All right, and the first sword he comes with is a sword, I think it's called a Chris. And it's a sword with these sort of waves in it, I guess. And it looks pretty cool. It's definitely unique. I don't think I've seen this before. It's just two paint accents. Sculpt work, you know, everywhere is pretty good. Like it's got the wavy lines, it's got the indentation in the middle, the handle and the, you know, guard on it look pretty cool. And it's definitely a nice stabby. And it might go on his backpack somewhere. We'll see. I'll look at it in a second. But then this is what I remember from when I was a kid. So I had to have had this figure. I don't think a sword like this came with anyone else ever in line. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't have a photographic memory. But this sword, I remember having this sword and using it in like all my figures. Like Snake Eyes wielded this, Storm Shadow wielded this at some point. Night Creeper definitely didn't wield it. I don't remember playing with Night Creeper. But I just remember as a kid thinking, if I got stabbed with a sword like that, how painful that would be. Like I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe there's swords like that in real life. And that's it. So it basically has the same details as the other sword, but it's got that super unique design. Maybe a sword like this has a name. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not a real thing. Maybe it's just a Jejo thing. I don't know. But I remember the sword so fondly. You have no idea. His original swords were straight black. I definitely remember it. So this is definitely an improvement. All right, and he does come with two alternate hands. So the hands that he has on there are open hands, hold stuff. These hands are definitely reuse. I believe this one for sure is from the Snake Eyes set. I have a Snake Eyes with this exact thing on it, and you can tell they're a little bit different because this one doesn't have, this one has that black like strap on it, and this one doesn't have any black strap at all. His hand that he comes with doesn't have a black strap at all. So you can definitely tell it's just sort of lazy reuse from someone else. I don't know. I don't know exactly who it's from. It does have a climbing. Oh, I guess it's a sort of a climbing claw on it or something. I don't know. This has got to be reused from something. All right, and his swords do go on his backpack. There are sort of notches for them on the side. So you have to, you can't really put them down. You put them in the front and sort of push them back. I don't know if there's one that's supposed to go one side or another, but they do fit on there. They do stay on there. Maybe not super well the way they designed it, but they're on there. He's ready to go. He's got all his stuff and he's balling. So I'm gonna pose these suckers real quick and come back with some final thoughts. Alright, and that's Jejo Classified, JINX and Night Creeper. Two figures I love to have in the series. I love the Jejo movie. JINX is a revelation to have. The figure is beautiful. Both of them are beautiful, actually. Night Creeper, his color scheme is what really makes him. I love the color scheme of him, and he definitely fits the aesthetic of his old figure. For sure, he's got the crazy sword that I love, and we're inching closer. We're inching closer to the G.I. Joe movie New Recruits to be completely done. And the crowd goes bananas! Law and Order's next, and I can't wait. The head sculpt on JINX is definitely the best feature of JINX for sure. The head sculpt and the paint job on the head is pretty darn amazing. Night Creeper, the overall aesthetic is pretty amazing. I love all his weapons. He definitely comes with more accessories than she does, and she looks great with that blindfold on, let me tell you. So the figures are both amazing in my mind. I definitely like both of them for sure, and I would highly recommend getting them. So guys, gals, non-binary pals, thanks a lot for checking out this video. Any support that you give me, you can directly support me with Ko-Fi down below, or just drop a like and a comment down below. That's all I need to be happy. So thank you, and peace out. Let's enjoy our plastic together.